West Memphis 3 case is one of the most controversial and widely discussed wrongful conviction cases in modern history. It centers on the brutal demise of 3 young boys in West Memphis, Arkansas, and the subsequent convictions of 3 teenagers. Damian Eccles, Jason Baldwin, and Jesse Misskelley Jr., who spent nearly 18 years in prison before their release in 2011. On May 5, 1993, 3 8-year-old boys, Stevie Branch, Michael Moore, and Christopher Byers, were found dead in a wooded area known as Robin Hood Hills. Their bodies were discovered in a creek, and it appeared they had been the victims of a ritualistic, sadistic crime. Some parts of their bodies were missing or damaged, leading to speculations about occult involvement, even though no evidence of this was ever found. The brutality of the crimes shocked the small town of West Memphis, and police quickly began searching for suspects. The case soon took an unexpected turn when detectives focused on 3 local teenagers. Damian Eccles, a 19-year-old with a reputation for being a goth and an interest in the occult. Jason Baldwin, a 16-year-old friend of Eccles, and Jesse Misskelley Jr., a 17-year-old with an intellectual disability and a history of mental health issues. The investigation quickly fixated on Eccles due to his unconventional appearance and interest in occult practices, including Wicca. Detectives, under pressure to solve the case, were eager to link the crime to some kind of satanic ritual. At the time, there was a widespread panic about satanic cults and ritualistic deaths, fueling further suspicion. Misskelley, who was interrogated without a lawyer or his parents present, eventually gave a coerced confession. His statement was inconsistent and full of errors, including details that didn't match the crime scene. Despite this, his confession became central to the prosecution's case. Misskelley initially implicated Eccles and Baldwin, and based on this confession, all 3 were arrested. In 1994, the 3 teens were tried for the crimes. The prosecution's case was built around Misskelley's confession, which many believed was a result of police coercion, as well as the theory that the killings were part of a satanic ritual. There was no physical evidence linking any of the defendants to the crime, and no motive was ever established. Damian Eccles was charged with capital murder and sentenced to death. Jason Baldwin was sentenced to life in prison, and Jesse Misskelley was sentenced to life plus 40 years. The trial was marked by controversy, including questions about the fairness of Misskelley's confession and the lack of physical evidence. Over the years, doubts about the conviction grew. A key turning point was the documentary Paradise Lost: The Child Murders at Robin Hood Hills, 1996, which drew attention to the case and suggested that the 3 teenagers were innocent. The film highlighted several inconsistencies in the prosecution's case and presented the possibility that the true perpetrators of the crime were still at large. New forensic evidence also began to emerge. DNA testing on items found at the crime scene, including blood samples, failed to match any of the 3 defendants. The defense team began to argue that the true killers were never investigated. Over the years, various people and organizations, including filmmakers, legal advocates, and the public, rallied behind the West Memphis 3. The case gained significant media attention, leading to increasing pressure on authorities to reopen the investigation. Celebrities like Johnny Depp, Eddie Vedder, and Lana Del Rey publicly supported the 3, helping to bring further awareness to the case. In 2007, after years of legal challenges, the Arkansas Supreme Court ruled that DNA evidence should be tested, and in 2008, new DNA testing was conducted on evidence. None of the DNA samples matched the West Memphis Three, nor did they match anyone else in the case. In 2011, after nearly 18 years in prison, the West Memphis Three were released. However, they did not receive full exoneration. Instead, they entered into an Alford plea, a legal maneuver that allows defendants to plead guilty while still maintaining their innocence.